because I was doing some creeping on his page, and I could tell that he has his mindset and his music business, like, he's on that. Because this podcast, this show, this stream, whatever you want to call it, it's all about being an artist and growing and just, I feel like being from Toronto, we don't have any music platforms. We don't have mentors to guide us in the right direction. Everybody just wants money. You're an artist, come to my studio, pay for a studio session. You need beats, pay for beats. But no one's giving you tips. No one's dropping gems. No one's giving you the guidance that you need to be a successful artist. And I feel like this guy right here, he has a lot of knowledge, and I want him to drop some gems on tonight's or today's show stream. Also, you know, it's gonna be an interview. We got to get to know you as well. And shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now.
That's cool.
Let me get a 1 in the chat if the volume's okay. If I should turn it up, put a 2. If I should turn it up, put a 1 if it's okay. But Joe Wizard,
word out, man.
Welcome. Thank you, man. Thank you.
No doubt, man.
I like to ask everybody, how did you get your artist name?
Joe Wizard. So Joe Wizard was kind of like I was in like a mode, right? And it was like I used to go by Omega. Because I was the last. I was always the last. Like if there was all the men walking in the club, I was the last one. If if there was a studio session, I record everybody, I'd be the last one to hit the mic. So I was at that point. I was Omega for a good minute there as an underground artist when I was hitting the streets, and then it kind of just like I kind of gave it to myself because I'm like, yo, honestly, I do everything, and I was just like, at first I was just like Wizard or Wiz. Something like that. And then I was just like, you know what? I want to incorporate my name. So I was just like Joe and then Wizard, because it's like, I write my own music. I record my own music. I mix the music, master the music, and not just my music, anybody's music that really I worked with. And then on top of that, incorporate doing shows. You know what I'm saying? And then distribution, handling all the business side of things, all the media, the marketing. So it's just like I have a lot of skills, and I just wanted people say, well, yeah, Joe Wizard, he knows a little bit. If I don't know, I might not know everything about something, but I know everything. I know a bit about everything.
And that's how I kind of wanted to actually introduce you. I was gonna be like Joe Wizard, because he's actually a wizard. From creeping the page, I see a lot of things like, you're talking about artists, they need to get mentors. You don't need to focus on having a mentor.
Absolutely.
Also about buying streams. I see that a lot in the industry. I see my friends buy fake streams. I see people buying fake streams, and you really nailed it when you said, like, if you want to explain to them, like, why shouldn't people buy fake streams?
Okay, so the number one reason for not buying streams is that they're not people.
One.
You know what I mean? That's like the ultimate, because if you don't have real people listening to your music, then you don't have a sales funnel for those people to go to. It's just bots. You're gonna pay money for for bots to give you a stream, and even then, they're not gonna give you a full stream. More than likely, the bot is gonna listen to it for 10 seconds or whatever, and then it's done. So it might count as a stream, but when your distribution calculates your money, your payout, it's not going to be as much, because it's only going to be a fraction of what a real organic listener would listen to your music.
So back to like streaming, when you get paid for streams, there's actually premium streams. You can get paid premium, or you can get paid basically the basic. So Absolutely. If your song is only being streamed for 10 seconds, no one's really listening to the full song, they're going to give you half of the check.
A fraction.
But if someone's listening to your song, it's on repeat, they're saving it on playlists, they're downloading it, they're going to pay you in premium. So these are things that artists actually don't know.
That's right.
There's so many ways to get paid, and we'll get into that totally.
Absolutely.
So Joe Wizard, you got your name, Joe Wizard. That's how you got your name. I think it's a dope name.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Where are you from?
I'm from Toronto, born, raised. Man, I love Toronto. And I lived in Barrie once, Barrie, Ontario, and it was like a decade ago, and it couldn't contain me.
Barrie, by the way, it's like up north. It's like where the bears are, and like
where the tornadoes are.
Yeah, like right now in Barrie, it's like it looks like an igloo. But then you come to Toronto, it's sunny. We got snow, but it's like it looks totally different. Yeah, it feels like you're in a different country. Like it's really Canada.
but you know what's really funny about Barrie, and usually that's my vision of Barrie, because because when I was living there, I built igloos. When I was up there, they were ice or skidooing or whatever on the lake. I'm like, and they told me, go, you try it.
You could ride your snowmobile to the store because they're like in the city, a lot of plow trucks come out and stuff like that. But over there, like you're snowed in. I lost power for a few days. I had to put my stuff in the snow to keep cold for a few days. I was actually living in Alliston, so it's
that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's not too far. Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is I went up to Barrie, and there was no snow. I was like, because I was expecting to see at least a foot of snow, at least, because it's Barrie, not even a foot of snow. So I was like, wow, you want to know what? This climate change is real. You know what I mean? And it's affecting not just Toronto, it's affecting all of Ontario right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how real it is right now.
Yeah. So we tackled how did you get your name, where you from. I like to ask people who come on here, who's your celebrity lookalike?
A celebrity lookalike?
Yeah. Who's someone like people would say you look like? Because I definitely don't think you look like Eminem. Let's just get the elephant out the room. You do not look like. There is no way. Do not look like Eminem.
There is no way. There's one so far. Like we joke around about it, me and my buddy. And if I got the circle glasses, Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
You think so?
That's what.
You know what? I see it a little bit. I do see it a little bit.
We joke around about it because really maybe not, but you know what I mean? I could probably pull it off. Like if I got the glasses and I put on like a geeky act, cut my hair in, I probably could pull it off. You know what I'm saying? But celebrity look like I've never really considered myself a celebrity look like, just due to the fact it's kind of like I just stay original. I say myself. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And but I say if I take off my glasses or something right now, I could probably pull off like I don't have the tattoos or anything, but Millie's maybe. You know what I'm saying? I could probably pull off.
I like Bubbles so far.
Yeah.
I feel like Bubbles just more personal.
I love Bubbles too, man.
So you're an artist, but you do a lot of other things, right? Yeah, like tell me, what do you do?
So back in 2008, I had a company called CIM, which is Canadian Indie Movement. Mm-hmm. That was like kind of like my first branch off into doing events with my good buddy Too High Media, Creep Show. And we did that for a 4-year run. We did over 300 shows, put on almost 1,000 artists. We had an online social network like Facebook, but it was for artists. And then I got into online radio. Mm-hmm. So like tell you the truth, like I was one of a pioneer of internet radio in Canada. Mm-hmm. And that's something
that was
in 2009 I started that. So I did that for about 3 years. And I'll let you know that, whoever was messing with We Stay Woke Network, plus, the guys that I work with inside the studio, we always were top 10 in Canada all the time. Yeah. Like that station, it was called Grind Radio. Okay. And then I took a little break. I had my 5th kid. Mm-hmm. And so my 5th kid,
Fifth,
yeah,
oh
word. So it was one. So I was handling that with 4 kids and a pregnant wife at the time too. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, you want to know what? My 5th kid came along, and I was and I hate to say it, we were killing the scene. Yeah. And after a certain while, I could just feel the love switching to a little bit more envy, jealousy, all that stuff, right? Always. So I was like, you want to know what? Fine. I'm going to take a break. I got my 5th kid. Let me see what the scene does without me. Mm-hmm. So, I set myself back, did what I had to do, focus on myself, focus on my family. And the scene started dying down. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff
They didn't have the Wizard.
They didn't have Wizzy, you know what I'm saying? Wizard. And you know, I'm not saying I'm the guy, but yo, I'm the guy.
Sometimes you have to pat yourself on the back though and realize you are.
Word up.
Because you took yourself, away, and they weren't able to run the ship without you. So you are the guy, and people. That's why I feel like in Toronto and Canada, especially in the music industry, I feel like people get taken for granted.
They really do.
We have some big stars that came out of Canada who still haven't got their flowers. I don't feel like Celine Dion, Avril Lavigne. I don't feel like Justin Bieber. I don't feel like all of those people have gotten their flowers yet. Like, they're some real big Canadian stars, and a lot of Americans think they're American.
Yeah.
Like, when I travel and I talk to other people, and we talk about artists that are from Canada, or I'll be like, oh, he's from Brampton. That, it's not too far from Toronto. Like, oh, he's like Canadian.
Nav, Nav
yeah,
too.
like Tory Lanez. A lot of people didn't even know. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
No, for sure. And then I won't lie. When I took my break, I teamed up again because I was like, yo, honestly, like I say, monopolize. The scene is a tragedy with me, and it's a tragedy without me. You know what I mean? So I was just like, let me get back in the game. I got linked up with my with another close brethren, 416 Solo, and we created the We Stay Woke network. And again, we started doing events. We started doing events and revolving around social issues that affect our community. And so our first event was for our really good friend that passed away due to a drug overdose, Gable, R.I.P. And we were like, you want to know what? After we did that first event for drug awareness, we were like, you want to know what? This hits. This is hitting the heart. And so we started making, we started doing events, and they always revolved around like some kind of social issue that's affecting our communities.
Yeah, like I got attacked by like two crackheads this morning. Like the drug addiction, the mental health is out the roof in Toronto. Like the homelessness, everything is out the roof in Toronto. I've never seen it like this. Like you only would go around, like, let's say, like, downtown, certain areas, Tent City, where you would see this. But now you're, like, you have the condo, the $1 million condo buildings and the rich areas, and these homeless people right in front of, like,
that's the problem right now.
I don't get it. Like, you're a millionaire leaving your condo, your house, when there's homeless people sleeping right on the floor outside your building.
And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because Toronto is developing, and the only thing that's being built right now is condos. Mm-hmm. It's going to get worse. And they're also, they're buying out parts of projects. Mm-hmm. And, the Metro Housing, because I grew up in Metro Housing, and even Metro Housing, my own Metro Housing that I grew up in, it looks different. You know what I mean? You could see, like, it's turning and it's switching. Mm-hmm. And, they bought parts of Regent Park.
Condos are basically, like, if you're watching, you're from the UK, condos are more like, how would I say? It's like a really expensive flat. They call flats apartments. It's like an apartment. It's in a building. It's like an apartment or a flat, but I guess it comes with amenities, the building. So you have like a theater room, you have a party room. It has a gym, has a swimming pool, usually has a terrace, but like, it doesn't make sense to me.
100%. And like within sometimes like 10 blocks, there's like 8 condominiums being built. It's crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Eglinton West, mashup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was home to enough men's, and I know enough men's that moved out. And I won't lie, like shout out Hamilton, shout out Barrie, shout out the outskirts, Kitchener. Mm-hmm. Men's are starting to go up inside them areas because it's just like, yo, Toronto's mash up right now.
Oh yeah, like don't come to Toronto to live. Like, especially as a single person, like, you will not survive. Like, people are complaining about groceries, complaining about rent. Yeah. Like, they're just complaining about everything. Like, most of my friends work 3-4 jobs, to be honest. They're in school and working 2-3 jobs.
That's facts.
And they don't even have a whole apartment to themselves. They have roommates, and they're still struggling. So right now, everybody who's working is working to live, working to survive. Nobody's working to become rich or actually like wealthy. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like back to the education system. They force school on you. But I feel like they force too much of the basics. They don't force
It's not
enough.
actual stuff that's going to get you into the
I never
real
applied.
world.
I never applied any of that besides like learning how to read and do math and
The
certain
writing, the
things and like
English,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna tell if there's any kids watching right now, in Canada, French, just bear down. I never did when I was young, but
take it.
actually,
I would have took it too. I didn't take it,
you want to
but
know what? It really and truly, now that I see the opportunities that it opens up, oh my God, French is just. If you're bilingual, you're good.
Any language. It doesn't even have to.
It doesn't need to be.
So it doesn't have to be French. If you want to like outside of school, take some private classes and take something else. Just learning another language. Yeah,
man.
Definitely upper advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Man.
even when you travel, because when you go to that country now and they don't speak English, they look at you like an idiot. You know what I mean? As much as you feel like, oh, I know English, they're looking at you like, they're laughing at you. Even in Montreal, like I was like,
Montreal's the worst.
They laugh at you. I was talking like English, like they're like, like like they're just laughing at me.
I've been in that situation too. When you're even asking like when you're I was in the club, I was like, where's the washroom? Toilet. I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? But after I walked away, I could hear him. Torontonian. You're like right away. They knew. Like no matter what, when people see the Toronto swag, it's very hard to not. Like wherever you go, it's like Toronto man's. Right away. Yeah. Toronto. He's from Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what? I don't get that a lot. Like growing up in Toronto, being in Toronto, they always thought I was American. And then when I travel,
you do have an American swag
they always think I'm American. Like I'm like, nah, Canadian. It's like it's different. But
No, 100%. When I first seen you, I was like, yeah, okay. you got like a NY-ish.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Harlem, something. You know what I'm saying?
As long as I'm different.
Just
you know what I mean?
you
Especially being an artist, it's important to be different. So as long as I'm different and I'm not like a regular Torontonian and I am different, then that's good. No doubt. Yeah, so you're an artist. You've started a label before.
Yeah.
You have We Woke is like it's still going on right now.
We Stay Woke Network.
We Stay Woke Network.
Yeah.
Still going on right now.
Bet.
That's with you and 416 Solo and some other people.
We're the heads, and then we have interns working right now.
Yep. Sick, and like you guys are putting shows together.
Yeah.
Like how does that like work? Like if any artist is watching right now and wants to like connect, like how does that work? Like do they gotta apply for something or like?
I would just say go to Instagram and follow We Stay Woke Network and hit us up inside the DM. We definitely we have programs. We have different levels. For different artists, we have our Level Up program. We got our All-Star Showcase, so that's for like the bigger heads. Mm-hmm. And we just hit us up into the DM and we'll guide you. We also have some back end services like marketing, promotions, radio. That we have connections with, but we'll only work with certain people as long as they qualify. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also you got to be legit. Like you can't be just, we're not just gonna hand over our resources even for any kind of money, because at the end of the day, we put in work to build relationships, and we're not going to send people to our connects and they're going to burn bridges. You know what I mean? So for us, it's really about the person. We got to sit down, we got to do a couple shows with you, and we got to see how you act, how you hold your ground, and what you the person that you are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds like enticing. Like I wanna definitely reach out and definitely see what you guys could do and work with me, and like, cause I'm all about marketing. Like I think marketing comes first before really anything. Like as an artist, like I started officially 2019. Like I've been making music my whole life since the day I was born. I've been just a music lover.
Yeah.
But professionally dropping it on platforms, actually saying, okay, I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, and like doing this thing.
Yeah.
Actually, so 2019.
2019 was a good year to start, man.
Yeah, so like just like as the years go on, I just realized marketing. You could put out 1,000 songs, but if you don't have any marketing behind it, it's a waste of time, buddy.
I learned
it's
that
a
too.
waste of time, buddy. So like marketing is the key. So
marketing is definitely the key, and I would tell everybody, like, organic marketing is probably the best.
Yeah.
You do not want anything fake. You do not want to buy any like an agency that comes up to you inside your inbox says, "Hi, I can help you.
Yeah.
Do you need 30,000 likes on your post? DM us right away. We'll get that to happen." If you get that, your Instagram or your whatever account is going to get closed, and you're going to wonder, "Oh man, wonder why." It's because
everyone's saying, "Oh, I'm shadow banned, I'm this and I'm that." And it's because they cleaned up their system and they've put all those accounts that were using all those bots and things like that. And that's why you will see posters with 10,000 likes, but then 50 comments. Yeah. And that's why, because, you would tell they were using these services that technically it did work when it first was the jump off. I think like
they were
back
working
in quarantine,
a little bit.
It was working to like help your spike up your
but no offense. If any man, like, here's the type of guy that I am. If I'm going to your profile, I see 6,000 to 10,000 followers. I'm like, okay. Start scrolling through it. Habib, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, all these Indians, all these Russians,
Angie, and it's always the same format.
Muhammad.
Yeah, so, 6 posts. Follows 8,000 people. Getting followed by 200 people. It's just it's the same thing all the time. Yeah. And then what people think that they can do is they I can buy 1,000 and then add 1,000. Buy 1,000, add 1,000. And in your mind, visually it looks good, but for business wise, you're not making any money off of them.
And this is in this stream, it's all about the business of music. It's about being an artist and making money off of music. That's the whole.
For sure.
You're an artist. This is not a hobby. This is your job. You might have another job you do 9 to 5. You have to treat music just like that.
I recommend that you have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then do some music.
Or you know what? I salute people that don't have a 9 to 5 and focus, like they focus though.
Yeah, no.
And they focused on
8-hour job or 12-hour job.
Yeah, I'm saying, because this year for me is all about recouping right now. Like, you have to understand how much money you put out.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of artists, they get lost in that sauce. They've put out like 20 something, and they don't even like add it up. Like, so how much was that? Like the studio session, the beat.
They can get lost.
You know what I mean? So let's say that was like 10,000 there. Okay, how much have you made back now?
500.
If people haven't even made $1, I know people that haven't even made $1, and I'm like, how can you be an artist? Like, I know people that been putting out music since 2010.
Yeah.
2010, they've worked with managements, they've been signed to labels, they did like all this shit, and like, have you even made $1 off of music?
Yeah, it's hard because it's not hard. It's just there's a real system in place, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the stuff that I know now, I wish I would have known when I was younger. But I'm not crying over spilt milk. I'm, you know what I mean. I'm an older guy, but I still love making music. I'm still putting out music this year. And, I'm going to go right back at it because why? Because I love making music, number one. Number two, I'm smarter than I was a decade ago. Mm-hmm. And number three, I can help other people be smarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's really where I shine because, but what I always say is when you listen to me, like if you go into my profile and you listen to the 1-2 gems I drop, don't take me for granted. Don't or maybe that's not the right thing to say. Don't take my information blindly. Mm-hmm. Do your own research. Mm-hmm. See if it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because also too, music is also time. There's like a time frame on everything too. It's just like building on social medias, where what I say today might not be the same for tomorrow. Music is always evolving. There's always the basics, but then there's always other things evolving in music. So, you always want to stay up to date on the current trends. You know what I mean?
If you're trying to create a buzz, then you need to know what's going on in the trends. But being an artist, you have to know what your mission is. And what the end goal is going to be, because then you will get lost in always trying to keep up with a trend when you forgot, hey, I want to be an artist that wants to do it this way. I don't want to be an artist that wants to wear nail polish and that's the new trend, or get tattoos and be... you have to remember what your mission is as an artist and what the end goal is, and just to accomplish that, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was saying trends, that's a really good point. But when I say trends, I'm talking more about online trends, marketing trends, business trends, more on the business trends. Not fashion, because that fashion stuff is, what 1 minute you're wearing baggy jeans, next minute you're wearing tight jeans, next minute then you're wearing baggy jeans, and then you're breakdancing.
Next minute you're wearing Balenciaga, next minute they're canceled.
Yeah.
Next minute you're wearing Gucci, then they're canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And that right there is a like real shit.
So, I want to drop gems on this stream and stuff like that, but I also don't want to drop too much, because you know what I mean. Like, I feel like when it's your time, you'll get to that. Like, it takes years to build up the knowledge that I feel like you've accumulated and I've accumulated. But I'm assuming you've make money off of your music.
Absolutely.
Can you give them one way besides streaming? Could you give them one way you make money off of music as well?
So
or to be fair, besides, like, could your distributor really just collects like a certain amount of like royalties for you? Right? Because the distributor sends it to the stores that you say send it to.
That's right.
Right? And that's it. So if your song is getting played in Nigeria, there's some DJs running you up out there, or some TV show decides to use it, like, how do you get paid? Like, how would you even know? And a lot of artists don't know how, and da-da-da-da. So there's multiple ways to get paid for music. Can you give them like one?
Well, so when you bring that up, I mean, ultimately it's down to your publishing and your split sheets and having your business correct, and your SOCAN check, like in Canada, SOCAN, America, ASCAP. And the thing is, when you're dealing with international rights, you should invest in a IRC code, and just make sure that when you stamp that track with that marking, with that it calculates everywhere inside the world. And that's from that side of music. That's the real gem that I wish we would have knew growing up, because if I would have known that growing up, then instead of spending money on so much other things in music, I would have said, okay, well, instead of making 3 songs, spending $1,000, I'm gonna make 1 song and use the other $500 and making sure I got my business correct, and that I have everything marked, stamped, certified, so when I do distribute it, I'm getting my royalties from everywhere. If it's spun on the radio stations around the world, whether the DJs are spinning it in the clubs, you will get your money. And for the DJs, they have to play inside a licensed facility. So if again, the DJ, sometimes it's just promotion. You know what I mean? If they're spinning your stuff, it's on a licensed spot, whatever, you could just you get just free promotion, right? But other than that, that's probably the biggest gem that that artists need to know. 100%. That is one of the main money streams.
So take that in, digest it.
Bet.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, yo.
Let me ask you, name 3 industry artists that you want to work with.
Industry artists that I want to work with, man. So I gotta say right now, top of the list would be J.R. Ryder.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I love the way he's always spit. You know what I'm saying? Benny the Butcher.
Okay.
I gotta I got to get something in with him. That would be like an ultimate dream. And you know, I gotta go down south, and I gotta say Juicy J.
Juicy J, okay.
And if I can add one more in there, because you know there's so many, but another ultimate guy would be RZA.
RZA, that one I don't know.
RZA's from Wu-Tang.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And RZA's like, you know, man, growing up with RZA, that's what I grew up with RZA. So you know.
And I noticed you pick like people who are not trending. I know who they are. They're definitely some GOATs and some OGs, exactly. Which a lot of the young generations don't respect the GOATs and the OGs nowadays. They just look at them like a old head and who's this washed up person, right? But so yeah, how come you went in that direction and you didn't go for a trendy one and like what's the backstory to like that?
I'll say this. So I have another side thing called Bars Nation, and it's kind of like, I love bars. Like I love music that you can listen to, that you can think and listen, similes, metaphors, punchlines. You know what I mean? And that's where don't get it twisted. I like this new age music. Definitely when I'm inside the club, I'm turning up. But if I'm on the bus, or if I'm making moves, or what my playlist is consisted of men's that are spitting. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you guys might not think Juicy J doesn't really spit, but he has some ill bars. You guys,
he does though.
He has some ill bars. You know what I'm saying? But he's mostly known for his turn up music too. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That's that. You know, like Dave East, Millie's is on the way up, and Millie's is kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Like all those guys. You know that. You know, I grew up with Ice Cube.
Who would you pick, Jay-Z or Eminem? Like if you could get one of features from one of those two, who would you pick, Jay-Z or Eminem?
It would be Jay-Z.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it would be Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Eminem has more bars than Jay-Z. Please don't come for me, everybody.
No,
please don't come for me.
Yeah.
But like I feel like Eminem would just kill it. Like he would just kill it with the bars and the metaphors compared to Jay-Z.
I don't think we match. That's the problem. Like I think if me and Eminem got on a song, we wouldn't match. And you know, I'm not an Eminem hater. Like, yo, he is the GOAT. But I've always fallen in the shadow of great artists. Like back in the days, it was Vanilla Ice. You know, because I was the only man in the hood. I literally had the whole swag on. And one day I turned on my TV, and what did I see? This guy on TV, Vanilla Ice, dancing, and he looked exactly like what I was doing. I was like, nah, shaved eyebrow, like everything, the whole nine. I was like, nah, what's going on here? And then, you know, that passed, and then I've been rapping since '92, and you know, and then just when I was getting brave again, I was like, you know, getting out of my shell. Then Eminem Slim Shady came up. And the way he hit the scene, it was so different. And I had a lot of animosity towards him because I was like, that's supposed to be me. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. And, you know, I just felt like, he took, like those two guys, they took my shine, you know what I mean? Because I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's how I feel like, you know, you're special, or you're meant, or you were born to do this, is when, like, since I was young, I always felt like I would see celebrities on the BT's award and I would just have this anger towards them, like it should be me, or I can't wait for my day. You get what I'm saying? Since I was young, I just always had that animosity towards them. When I see them at the awards, BT Awards, show a little bow on them guys, are like, yo, that should be me. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that's when you know this is what, like, you're destined to be.
Something
you know
in your gut,
something
in your soul. Yeah, there's something in your soul that just, like, for sure.
You just you breathe, you eat, you sleep music. You get it, like you do it without making the millions, because it's really not about the millions. It's just really about you doing it. And then, like, you learn that, hey, I can make money from this. So then you're like, all right, let me get my business right.
yeah. And you know, I'll just to add on top of that, we're living in a different time, yes, but the number one thing is everybody's doing it independent. There's so many artists doing the same thing that you're doing. the only way that I feel inside this day and age, you have to understand it's not easy to get signed.
No.
It's not easy for a record label to trust their money with you. And nobody really knows how to get signed. All they know is how to do everything's independent. And that was a big thing with me. Like, I didn't know how to approach record labels.
So that's actually a question I got for you here. Do you want to get signed to a label now that like you've had your run and you've had your trials and errors? It's like, at this point, do you want to get signed to a label?
You want to know what? I would definitely consider it if the contract was right. I can do a lot of things myself. So really and truly, if I could get a budget and I could work, I would definitely. I was
against labels. I was like once
here.
I learned about them, I was against them. I'm like, no, I don't like. But now I'm like, okay, how can I use them to my advantage? Now I feel like I have the knowledge to use them to my advantage. Before I would have just got signed and got taken for granted. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But now I know it's like, okay, I definitely want them for the marketing. They got the money for the billboards. They got the money for it to push in front of people. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? But it doesn't guarantee you that
anything.
those people are going to stick with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we see that, like, Cardi B, they pushed Cardi B in front of us. Where's Cardi B today? I don't hear Cardi B on the radio.
Yeah.
I don't see Cardi B anymore. But they had, when she was under a label and they're spending the money on you and they want to make it back, they pushed her, made her seem like she's the hottest in the world.
That's right.
But she really wasn't. They just wanted to brainwash people to spend their money to buy the albums, this to that, just to make their money back.
Just make the
Once
money
they
back.
made their money back, where's Cardi B?
Well, and also too, you get kind of you will like that's the one thing I would say about a record label is that you might get shelved.
Yeah.
And if you get shelved, then you're in a term. And if you're in a term, then a lot of what we're seeing right now is a lot of guys who were on term are final, like their terms are done, and now they're able to come out independently and make their own money. And that's
and then it sucks again because I feel like now you're going against the label. Even when you were with the label, you had them on your side. Now you're not on the team no more. Now it's you against them. So remember, they got that bigger budget always to push their artists. So you gotta, when you're with them and you're on the budget, you gotta make sure you really grasp your fans, because your day one fans will stick with you to the end, with or without the billboards and all the other shit, 100%. Right? So you really, most artists, I feel like they take it for granted. They buy the chains, they buy cars, they just show the money, and they just
that's what the advance.
Yeah, that's what the advance. Instead of using it, marketing. How am I gonna buy something for your fans to give back, or how are we gonna keep these people, because this promotion is not going to last forever.
It's not going to last forever.
Right? Yeah.
No. I mean, every artist has their shine. And that's why, it would have to be a really strategic deal, because also, too, I am over 40. So, I don't want to be trapped long term. But for a short term, I would be like, okay, try. Like, my thing is, and it's with everything, let's do a small contract and then have a... whatever the term is called, I forget it right now, but like a term in place. So if after this, if we're still happy with the business, then we can extend the contract or extend our agreement. Because first I would want to see, okay, after 2 years, 3 years, is it going anywhere? If not, fine. I paid you back. I go on my own way. Simple.
Yeah. That sounds like a good deal. Is there a number, how much would you sign for?
I would prefer 0 and earn every dollar. You know what I mean?
That honestly, I have to get, I gotta get the air horns for that. Yeah. That was the smartest answer. At the end of the day, if you could sign for 0 and just make money, I don't want anything, but I want you guys to spend money here and here so that we could make money together
and analyze it, and if it's recouping.
Yeah,
and if we're recouping,
it's all about recoup. Yeah. This year for me, I'm telling you, I'm putting out one song. February 16, I got one song for you guys, and I'm hoping. I always hope, but I feel like I nailed this one. This one is gonna it's gonna go international. It's gonna be big. It's registered for the Billboard charts. We're going for the Billboard charts. We're going for like something big so that this song is gonna be trending for a couple years. You know those ones like it's you know what I mean. I feel like a lot of people they get that trend, that viral song nowadays. Like for example, Glorilla. I don't you know this Glorilla girl. So she came up with a song F and F. I think that's what it's called. Went viral. Dropped a whole album. Went on tour. And I'm like, heard the album. It's trash. And I'm like. You know what I mean? Like, all this new music you're putting out is trash. All your old stuff is better. Just give us time to digest it. There's like 8 billion people in the world. It's only reached Canada. Let it reach, the U.S. Let it reach the Philippines. Let it reach there. You got to let it reach places. So give it a year, 2 years. Let that song be trendy for a year, 2 years and recoup.
Yeah.
If you put, let's say it costs me $1,000 to put it back. Hopefully, I can make that back 10 times more.
Man,
you get what I'm saying?
Just that budget, man, it's really all about budgeting. At the end of the day, it's all about budgeting. You got to know where you're going to put your money, and you have to have a plan, plan A, plan B, plan C. So if plan A isn't working, then at least you can invest a little bit more money somewhere else and see if plan B is working. And so on and so forth.
How do you feel about uploading your music video to like 6buzz? A platform like 6buzz. 1, would you? 2, would you recommend somebody to do that?
I love all those pages, and I visit those pages regularly. 6buzz, there's always nay or yay. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'd say I'd invest the money into, like, if you don't know anything about marketing, then you might want to use 6buzz as your platform to see who's listening to your music, check out the comments, find out who's commenting, hit them up. Then, if you do it correctly, you should at least gain 1-2 fans for sure. You know what I mean? But when people are uploading your music, then they are getting the credentials.
And they're monetizing it.
And they're
making money off of it.
So
you paid for that music video. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, because more times, like, your song is probably not, like, registered where, like, it's going to come back as copyrighted, so they can't monetize off of it.
Right.
So they probably will monetize off of it, run it up, make, like, whatever, a couple hundreds off of it.
They and you figure you make a couple hundred off of 10 videos, you're at a couple grand for the month.
Don't you see 6buzz chain? They're icy for a reason. Yeah. Come on, they're making that.
No, they're smart, man.
They know what they're doing. They
are.
They have their run.
Well, they're still a certified platform. Like now it's a marathon.
Yeah.
With those guys, you know what I mean? They had a run, and now it's just consistency, and now they just have the brand.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man.
Yeah, but they definitely have their brand. I don't think it will ever not be a 6buzz. I feel like they did really give Toronto like a platform.
They gave the kids a platform.
Yeah, unfortunately, like they gave us our own world star.
They give us our own world
That's
star.
Our own world star. Kids were just running around 6buzz, like how they would say world star, world star.
They did.
They gave us our own world star. And I respect it. Now we need something like that for music.
Yeah.
Now we need something like that for music, because I feel like the most music, like, they could be a great artist, but if 6buzz Buzz hosts them, it's just always troll. So let's talk about the Toronto audience. You, as an artist, do you market, is Toronto audience in your your target areas? Is Toronto, is Canada? Like, where do you, like, you don't have to give us all your gems or give us all your secrets and whatever, but like, do you promote your music to Canada? Like, where do you promote your music?
So when it comes to promoting locally, I promote locally when there's something to promote it locally for, which is, either if I have a performance, if I got a show coming up, is more times when I'm promoting locally. If I'm promoting my music, I'll promote it broad, America, North America, South America, Europe, UK, China. Then what I'll do is I'll break down, see who's really listening to it, and then those are I'll find out who's listening to it. Then I'll actually retarget that who's really listening to it, because I have music that not everybody's gonna enjoy, and I'm okay with that. I don't make music for everybody to enjoy. I actually make music for me and my son, and if my son bounces to it, then it's a banger. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm distributing it, and you know, I just want to enjoy my music when I listen to it back, but I want to also show that I'm versatile with everything that I put out, because everything that's even out right now on Spotify and all the platforms still isn't half of my creativity. It's only one little segment of that energy that I was putting out. I got a lot more coming.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it will tender to a different demographic. So then I will need to, the new music that I do drop, I will need to reinvestigate who's gonna listen to it. You know what I mean? Because the same people, maybe Atlanta this time won't listen to the new stuff that I have. Maybe it's gonna be more Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And if it is, then that's who I want to. That's where I want to go. That's who I want to. That's who I want to send more money to. Like put more money on that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Same thing. Like maybe 1 week I'll or for 2 weeks I'll promote in a certain area, and then in another 2 weeks I'll promote another area, and then like a great way for artists too is just you look at your Spotify for artists.
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna drop one gem now.
Word up.
Stop focusing on Spotify, please. Stop.
Yeah.
There's like when you send your music, when you give it to your distributor to send to stores, like my distributor, it sends it to over 200 stores. Yeah. Okay. Spotify is only one.
And it doesn't pay the most.
And it doesn't even pay the most.
No.
Okay? Pay attention to like your titles, Spotify for artists, your Amazon for artists, your what's the other one? Your Apple Music for artists, and then you can dig in. Like there's other platforms that are buzzing in different, because in different countries, Spotify and certain things are not popular there. They're listening to Deezer. They're listening to this one, Audio Mac, this one, that one, like. You guys forget that your music is not just on Spotify. Stop focusing on Spotify.
Yeah,
and Spotify is mostly ran by like record labels. They spend hundreds of thousands to millions with their artists and Spotify. We're just that little fish that's just fishing out our money to them. You know what I mean? But they're getting that real big check. They care about the labels that they're getting that big. They have contracts. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. You can have the best song in the world. Honestly, you could have it, but it will never be the best song on Spotify because they're not getting paid to say that. They have contracts with labels. Facts. So you gotta stop focusing on just Spotify. Spotify is only just one. Like I hit 1 million streams and it's not from Spotify. You get what I'm saying? But you still get the royalties and you still getting the check and you still hit the stream. So it's just like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Come on.
That's a gem. That's honestly a gem.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's honestly a gem because, you like you go to your distributor and you find out every link to all of your music to where it is. And then you can, literally, you're right. But for North America, it's Spotify. But anywhere else aside the world, they don't give two craps about Spotify. Just to let you know. You know what I mean? It is, especially when for an Apple device. Like, you don't think there's way more Apple devices than there are Samsung devices out right now. And you're missing that whole demographic. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My Apple Music is bumping. Yeah. My Apple Music is more bumping than Spotify, to be honest.
There you go.
And like even my title is more bumping than Spotify. Spotify is like out of my top 10, Spotify probably is like in my 7th, but I'm getting more streams in like Tidal, Apple, and other platforms. To be honest. Yeah. So you guys gotta go on your Tidal as well. Put your profile, put your bio. You guys gotta treat these platforms like your social media.
Absolutely.
You can post pics. YouTube, there's a whole community. Like, you could post pics, post comments, do polls. Like, you could talk to your people, your subscribers. You get what I'm saying? It's like Instagram. Like, you could post a picture. Like, hey guys, what's up? And post a picture, and they can like and they can comment, just like Instagram.
Yeah, don't just. I think at the main point is, don't just spend all your time on Instagram.
Yeah, that
For
too.
sure.
That too.
Don't just spend all your time on Instagram.
Would you sell your catalog? Because that's the new thing now. All these artists are selling their catalog. Some are trying to buy back their masters, and then some are trying to sell their catalog. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you're in it for the quick buck and you're just like, yo, as long as you can, if you sell your catalog, but you can make music and own those ones. For me, if you're a creative and you nonstop creative, it might, and you need money, maybe, you know what I mean? But obviously, owning your masters, you always want to own your masters.
Okay, so to be fair, let's say they wanted to buy, a label wants to buy your catalog from 2019 to 2022, and they want to give you 150 million. And you only collect 10 to 15% royalties off of it. Obviously,
if there's perpetuity, yeah, for sure. I would do that as long as there's perpetuity, for sure. Like, I thought you meant about buyout, like you don't earn anything. But yeah, no. 100%.
So what if they would give you 150 million for your catalog from 2019 to 2022, and you don't get any
perpetuity?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, because they might see something in that music that they don't want to tell you, and then they'll make, like, if it, I don't think 150 million is a lot of dollars, but let's say,
but this is what, like, Future just sold his for like 200.
It's Future.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
They're hurting for money though. Those guys are probably like, they're hurting for money, because imagine, we don't understand. I can't even fathom Future's bills. I can't fathom those guys, because there's no, I don't have that budget. You know what I mean? But at some point, your money, if you're up here and then you spend money like you're up here, and then all of a sudden you start going lower on the income, but your bills are staying the same, either you got to cut down, and if you have an ego, which a lot of these guys do, then they want to just they will need to buy, so then they can get up to here, so then they can keep living their lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's personally what I would think that they're feeling.
The reason why they did it.
Yeah. But two as you said, Future, but 2 Chainz is a different beast, because he's really in that business. Like, I've seen him like on like entrepreneur shows and stuff too. Like, he's like,
they open up stores. You got a couple
2
of
Chainz.
different stuff going on, and that's another thing too. So, do you plan on making music like forever? Like what? Like forever.
I actually laugh with my good friends, and I will stay in the booth for as long as I can. I will. There is no age limit on music, and we live inside a day and age when there's no age limit on your popularity. There's a woman on TikTok right now, Mandy, I think her name is, or something like that, and she's got gray hair, and she won. I actually know her, not personally, but I was at, it's called Hip Hop Karaoke, and they used to run it, like there was a couple shows at Revivals. That was the bigger one, but they started off in smaller venues, and she won it a couple times. And then, you don't hear from her because the karaoke thing stopped putting on shows. And then what does she do? She pops up on TikTok and starts doing hip hop karaoke on TikTok, and becomes famous, and becomes semi-famous. And I just feel like that is a perfect example where at any age anybody can blow up and become an influencer. Anybody can blow up and start selling records at any age. Yeah.
So what if you did blow up? Let's say tomorrow, like, your shit just it blows up, and you keep going for a few more years. Is there a point where you would ever be like, okay, like I have a huge catalog. Let's just let that work.
Yeah.
And like not really focus on putting out music and like
right now I say no, because what I would do is I would just invest a lot of money into studio, into a great studio that we could that I could just keep on recording.
Yeah.
And keep on recording people around me, and because that's my real passion for sure.
Yeah.
I just have and the world is ever changing, so my music isn't always about trends, it's about the world. It's about environments.
I kind of feel like, would you like kind of drop like Snoop Dogg? Like he doesn't really drop like that. It's like
I would, yeah.
Very very rare. Like you'll see him like on a collab thing. Like I see he does like more like collabs. He doesn't really drop songs solo
at this moment right now. Yeah.
But like he'll pop up in like a new one just came out the other day with like 3 other people on it. I'm trying to remember.
I mean, he's working with everybody now, man. Method Man, AZ, Nas, Dr. Dre, obviously, friggin'.
Might be with Nas. There's a new music video out by him, actually. Yeah. Like, he just dropped one.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's an okay rate. But I also feel like, yeah, for me, I eventually want to just get to a point where I don't have to make music anymore. Like, I don't have...
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I love making music, and I feel like I will always...
Yeah.
But I have so much music that I'm already sitting on. You get what I'm saying? So until like I think I have everything out, and even like when I die, I'm still gonna have stuff on a hard drive like that with like someone's in charge. I got my family. They already know. My family, they know. You see this red hard drive? If God forbid I die, anything happens to me, make sure my music still continues to come out. So
that's love.
You get what I'm saying? So I feel like like if I'm like big time Beyonce, you get what I'm saying, and like I have backup of music.
Yeah, because remember, we don't know, we really don't know the toll that we would feel after 365 days being on road for 300. We don't have that. I don't have that experience. So maybe you're right. You know what I mean? Like I can't say
you want to just focus on life because I feel like that now. Like last year, like halfway through the year, I was like, okay, like I need to just like now just actually focus on like have fun, like just focus on life. I can't just be work. I'm like time to just have fun.
Studio. Like, yeah, I know.
Time to have fun. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Thank you for coming through.
For sure,
I got
man.
Joe Wizard over here. He's a big time guy. Don't let anything fool you. Don't let Instagram numbers fool you. Don't let anything fool you but the bank account. All right? When it comes to the music business, because he's one of the ones that knows a lot, like when it comes to music business.
Appreciate that.
Let's see, who do we got in the chat here for the first time? We got Little Laxus, I believe. Yo, what's good?
What's going on?
Who else do we got in the chat here? We got Esfecta. Am I saying that right?
Easy Fecta.
Okay, that's your boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else do we see? We got T6 Gaming.
Alright.
Okay,
T6,
shout out. That's Mr. Do, I believe. Mr. Do.
Shout out Mr. Do.
We got Smoker's Closet Podcast in the building.
Bomb. That's my brother-in-law. You already know.
Okay. Who else came through? And we got Lala. I think that's my girl from the UK. Because she's watching too.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys, shout out to everybody that came through, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
What's your song? So my artist name is Benzito, and he's an artist, he's a producer, you're a label owner, you're a manager,
for sure.
AR, he's all. So just like you could Google me, I'm sure you could Google him and everything should come up. And then the title of the stream has our name as well. Yeah. But yeah.
100.
So we talked about if you would sell your catalog.
That's a good question, man. I really like that question. I've never been asked that question before.
Yeah, because that's the new thing. And if you want to know my opinion, I would sell my catalog. I started 2019. If they wanted it from 2019 to now and they were going to give me anything more than 100 million, I would take that.
Yeah,
I'll take it, even if I'm not making residuals off of that.
That's 100 million.
Because like
that 100 million, you're gonna make 200 million.
Yeah, I can use that for investment. I'm still allowed to make more music after. I don't have a problem with creating music. Everything I do is like, I freestyle all my songs. I don't write. I have a hard time writing. I can't write. I can't. If you give me $1 million to write a song, I swear I'm losing. Like it's that serious. Like I can't write. Like I get stuck. I'll get to like 2 words and I'm stuck. And I just have to freestyle it and let it out and record it, and then I can write it down and maybe change up something. But just to start writing, I can't. I've never wrote a song. I can't. So yeah, like I don't have trouble, and I know I have a hard drive right now with like 500 songs. Like I've been recording since 2011.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have just a bunch of music.
That might be a good option for you for sure. Like if you've been going in like that, like there's no reason why you should be knocking and pounding on labels' doors right now. Once you get recognition, and definitely show them a wagwan, and you know, but don't go in there alone. Go in there with your manager, and go in there with a lawyer.
Yeah, no manager, just a lawyer.
Just a lawyer.
Yeah,
that's the main element right there.
What made you want to be an artist?
You know, man. So I grew up on Southside Jane Street, and back in the days there was.
If anybody doesn't know, that's like the hood. Okay, that's Jane and Finch and all those. Yeah, that's the hood. Okay.
Yeah. So
in Toronto.
And there was an artist. There was a group down there from my hood, and they went by split decision, and then so. It started from a real young age when I was just watching and consuming my environment, and I was the only white guy that could and I can't say the only one, but there was an ex youth there that was able to stay amongst the mandem, and it went from split decision. I started watching what they were doing, then they transitioned to Graffiti Logic, same area, same thing. I'm like, damn, like, yo, these, man, I'm watching my friends on TV right now, man. So, yo, it legitimately, it's possible, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, and so that's when I really said, listen, want to know what? I was walking home one day, and one of the members of the group of Graffiti Logic said, yo, I got studio coming up. I need a beat right now. I need to practice. He was like, yo, give me a beat. And from that time, I didn't even beatbox. But I was like, all right, yeah, I know how to beatbox. I didn't by myself, but I never showed anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, kick the beat, practice for a studio session. I was like, yo, that was the shit. Now you want to know what? Yo, here's a beat. You try it. I tried it. And from there, I was like, you want to know what? I'm really enjoying this right now. The vibe, the intensity, the freedom of speech, being able to just say whatever I want, whenever I want. It was just like, yeah, this is lit. And I was like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for my whole life.
Yeah. I think you just said something like really important. I think for me too, it's just like, music, you're just able to be free. It's all about creating whatever you want to create. Like, you could give 5 artists the same beat, but they're going to make 5 different songs.
Yes.
Everybody's their own, painter, their own artist. And that's the great thing about music. And what needs to stop is these trolls. You post something, and then you have these people in the comments saying mid, trash. Bro, you cannot, like, I could give you the beat and you wouldn't be able to make the song. If you're not another artist or someone that's established enough to actually say this is mid or trash, or, like, to be honest, no, there's no such thing as it being mid or trash, because it just may not be the song for you, but it will be a song for somebody else. That's all.
Or maybe they just hate, maybe they just don't like you. And and your music is good, and you're just like, nah, you're trash.
Yeah.
Because they don't like you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, never pay attention to the comments.
Music is just like the colors of the rainbows. It's like your favorite color might be red and it might not be yellow. That song might be yellow, this song might be red. So it's just like, everyone's entitled, to their own opinion, but don't go around telling people their music is trash, because, like, you're trash of a person for that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that one 100% still.
Let's ask you, what's your favorite song you've made?
Man, that's a good one. Because I really put a lot of work into each song, and you know, everything has its own purpose. Something, you know, that's a good question. I would say right now, my favorite song that I'm listening to right now is something that's not released. But my favorite song, it's got to be Lifestyles, and that was like recorded in 2003, and then you know, we finally got all of our business right by 2009 and got it out, got a video up for it. You know, it was a symbol of hope for my community that I lived in.
You said you got a video for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, what's the song called?
It's called Lifestyles, Joe Wizard. And you know, that was like you know, it really brought everybody together. Like, I remember the day of the video shoot, my whole block came out, and then all of their friends came out, and it was just like, I never felt so much love in my life, and I don't know how to even emulate that same.
Is it on your channel?
Effect. It will be.
Oh no, it's not on your channel then?
Yeah, it's on my channel. Probably have to just
Sorry, what was it again?
It's called Lifestyles, one word though.
Lifestyle, one word?
Yeah. With an S. Lifestyles. Yeah. There I am. And mind you, I did this when I was like, you know, 2005 when we recorded it. It took a long time for the video editor because, you know, back in the days it was whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it was film. It wasn't digital as much, right? So. And then I had my, you know, the intro. I had the beginning with my daughter in it, my firstborn. You know, it's all family there. You know what I'm saying? It's all family. You know, bald head, yo, baggy pants, the whole nine. That's why I was going by Omega.
Red bills, brown bills, and green bills, bank accounts on the way to a mill. Some spend money and love a thrill. With spunky faggot like a chill. Alright, stop. Now move your muscles all up into yo. It's all about the hustles. What you gotta do for that cash flow? Worldwide burn Ontario, loving your stereo.
How old were you there?
I gotta say I was about 22.
Got the Benz,
I
the
know,
Ontario
right?
license plate.
Yeah. Got the girl in there, you know.
Me and a few, I thought you knew what I was about, but you were on another tip. I'm out for the script that stays original. I'm out to eat food, stay rude like a criminal. If you proceed to treat me and my people like animals, I'm originals. Take a whack and seize lyrics for collateral. Speaking hypothetical, they smell like icicles when under heat. So just push repeat and see if two ends beat from my words to your street. Get up, keep moving, keep doing what you're doing. Stay strong.
And the next scene is what I'm talking about. I never felt like that's all love right there. But the next scene, man, I never. It's hard to even imagine how much love this is there, man. Yeah.
See you bubbling with the girl. I see you. I see you.
You already know. Without the lime. Or cops with no crime. Look at that. The club was rammed. That's all
I thought it was
family.
a house. That was like a house party.
It was like, yeah, I guess it was kind of like a house venue. Wow. What a night. It took me a long time to get this footage too, man. Like it was, you even see the watermark on it. Like that's how it goes back still. Oh, nice.
You can tell like you're using like a free trial like editing program.
Yeah, man.
Because I have one video of the same thing. I just noticed it. I'm like, I didn't notice that back then. Like, wow, how did I just have this shit there? Like, damn.
It was one of those situations. It took me a long time to get that footage, to get it in digital. Man, it was it. But you want to know what? Because everything is just so easy. Everybody just takes this online stuff for granted right now. You record something on your phone and there you go. You gotta whatever you want. Like it wasn't like that. It was cassette. Then it was bring it to a man that could even dub it. Then make it a file. Then give it to you. Then find like something that you could post with, and it wasn't free. And it was just like there was something.
And that's something I like to talk about because like I feel like the value of music has gone out the door. No one lines up at HMB to go buy a CD anymore. There's no passion. There's no, I can't sleep at night because I gotta get up early to go. Like now they do that with Jordans, but no one does that with music anymore. And that's what it used to be. I remember back in the days, you would go buy Usher's new CD, and it was sold out. It was sold out.
And you couldn't get it. And you couldn't get it. And you had the anticipation of like, when does it come?
I used to record music videos on a VCR and a cassette tape just so I could watch it again and play it back and things like that. Now there's YouTube, so now people can upload it on YouTube. Now we can watch on YouTube. We had to rely on the TV's channels to play these music videos, to premiere it. They would show us trailers, and like for a whole like month, we'll just be excited. We saw the little trailer and we can't wait for the music video to come out. And like, I think it messed up the labels too, because now they got to fork out all this money. They're not getting it back like they used to. They used to be able to spend $1 million and get back like 20. Now they spend $1 million. They're only really getting back like 5. Like they're not getting back anything crazy anymore.
No, I know. Yeah. Especially when it comes to streams, because streams are not the same as album sales.
So are you always gonna be on these platforms? Is that something like
there might be? So I have a website, joewizard.com, and you can buy all my albums on there, everything that I've released, and I might when due to the marketing strategies that I have in place, I will have an exclusive that you can only get off of the website, that you'll have to pay money, and you can get the actual MP3 and you can add it to your playlist in your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's the smartest as an artist. You guys, we can't get lost on all these trendy things. You can't get lost in trying to go viral on TikTok and doing these like TikTok dances, and then people are just listening to your sound on TikTok and they're not actually going to your music platform to buy your music. Or like a lot of these songs that go viral on TikTok, people only know that second of it on TikTok. That's right. Everybody doesn't know the actual song. Sometimes they don't even know the artist.
No.
Like,
no,
I'll hear songs and I'll be like, oh, this is the actual song. Yeah, this is I'm like, artist. I heard it on TikTok. Like, like that little clip of it, I would hear it on TikTok. But then, later on I find out this is the artist. But like, do I actually go back and listen to the song? Not so much. So how much, like, don't get me. TikTok's a great way to get, like, I'm not saying not to use TikTok.
Oh, no, TikTok is,
no,
it should be in your posting calendar.
But I'm saying at the same time, like, if you're an artist that wants to sell music, you got to get your music business right and focus on selling music. You can't be focused on all this other trendy shit, being cool on Instagram or being cool on TikTok, because the same people are not buying your tickets to your concert. That's right. And they're not buying your albums.
Yeah, but, just use social media wisely. That's all I gotta say. Like really, and like have an account for everything. Know what each platform is for. What is TikTok really used for? What works on Instagram? What works on Twitter? What works on Facebook? What works on LinkedIn? When I ask artists, do you have a LinkedIn? Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, LinkedIn, if you're looking for, you can find everybody on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's somebody inside the music scene, like industry, business, they have a LinkedIn.
I don't even know what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn like Linktree?
LinkedIn is a social network, and it was really back in the days it opened up for B2B. It was
B2B.
Business to business.
Okay.
So business would go there, or it was business to consumer, and the consumer.
So is it like a Fiverr for like a music
Not at
or
all.
something?
No, it's actually Fiverr's really good. Shout out to Fiverr, but it's like Facebook, but for people that are looking for jobs. Was its main thing, but now it's evolved into this whole different beast. You could do networking. You could do this. It has reels. It has all the same effects as Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff. And I won't lie, they actually had something called LinkedIn Learning. So if you have a LinkedIn account, you can attach it to this thing called LinkedIn Learning, and you could actually take courses through LinkedIn and get knowledge. So LinkedIn is, if you don't know about it, then that means I'm glad I said it right now, because LinkedIn, for your business, you're gonna find anybody and everybody. You can get to the head of a label on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Easier than knocking on their door and phoning them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely, that's something you're on the path of doing. Trying to reach out to labels, trying to get signed to a label, or I guess you said you can find just about anybody.
You can find you can find a job.
You know what I mean?
Like they have like a huge database of employers that are looking for workers, and you know what I mean. Like instead of going into your newspapers, which nobody does anymore. There's Indeed and all that stuff, like the job search sites. No, you just go to LinkedIn, find out jobs there, and then you can find out the organization, find out the HR personnel, and then hit them up, and then get a relationship going to notify them that you're going to send them the resume.
Yeah.
Because I used to work for an employment agency, so that's
okay.
I would work with immigrants coming into Canada and help them find jobs.
Okay.
And that's how I would use my my marketing skills. I would help them find jobs.
Okay. He's a wizard. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know, you know. Like, I could come around certain people and just know they're coming with their facts, their knowledge, and they're not shitting you, and they're not capping, and it's not bullshit. You get what I'm saying? I'm not always right. I don't read books by covers. Like, I actually read the book. I opened the book and I read it. You know what I mean? I had to just do a little scrolling, a little digging in case.
Yeah, it's not hard.
I'm like, all right, this guy, I already know what this stream is gonna be about, and how I'm gonna approach it and things like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad to be here. I'm just want to start getting on a podcast, and I was just like, you want to know what? You're fresh, you're new. I want to support, because, this is just like out of the blue. It's like, Benzito's doing a podcast right now? Yo, let's go.
Let's go.
I never met you. I think I passed by you a couple of times, but I never really
I know I've never met you in person.
Yeah.
No.
But I've scrolled by you, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I've liked your stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff, so, yeah.
All right, I got a couple more questions for the interview.
Let's do it.
And I know you got somewhere to be too, so like we could chop it up a little bit more after. But if you do need to go, we can cut it in. But name 2 producers you want to work with. So we got the 3 artists. That was a solid 3 artists, because I've asked people 3 artists and they basically named their friends, and I'm like, I name 3 industry artists you could work with. You could name any 3. Put it into the universe right now, and you want to go put in your friends or like some. I'm like, all right. So you came with some good ones. You came with J.R. Ryder and all those other people. If you know, you know. But J.R. Ryder's from what? They're all from like New York, no?
Harlem, New York, and then Atlanta.
Yeah, basically.
And then because I grew up on the East Coast, and obviously, like, if I had the chance to work with Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and like on the West Coast, obviously I would not turn that down.
Yeah.
But until I have $200,000, I won't be approaching Snoop Dogg anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you,
You
right
think
now.
that's how much it is?
That's what he said. He made it public. He made it public, and then it's $200,000 for the video. So you need to have 400K.
Like
Yeah.
I know. If it was like somebody else, he would do it like a little bit, like a 75.
Yeah, no, maybe like doctor, like if you definitely if you build up your brand properly, you might be able to squeeze in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which.
He's OG, so
he's an OG.
I'm not shitting on that 200K. And that's another thing too for artists. Is like, you know what I mean. When you do features with your friends, it's great and all, but sometimes like the marketing is like a future. Like so, you're gonna spend $3,000 for a feature from somebody over on the American side that is doing their thing, and you know what I mean. Also, if they're on Spotify playlist, that might just help you get on that Spotify playlist that you're trying to get onto as well. So that's one way, guys. That's another free gem. I think I'm gonna call this free gems.
Yeah, something like that.
Free gems. Yeah, I'm still thinking of the names.
I was about to say. I was like,
this is not really a podcast. I'm like, I'm on Twitch. It's a stream. Like sometimes I do games. Sometimes like I just do a bunch of stuff. It's just like, you know.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
maybe I could chop it up like certain times of your podcast, free gems. Yeah,
free gems, something like that.
Yeah. So name 2 producers now. Give me 2 producers you want to work with.
That one's really hard, but I would if I had to.
And
break
it doesn't
it down
have
to 2,
to be industry. So just putting this in the universe.
Yeah, no, definitely Heat Makers.
Ooh, nice one.
Number 1, Heat Makers. If I can get on a Heat Makers beat, I've been listening to his production for a long time. And I could definitely do some magic on that. Mm-hmm. And man, it's a tie between 3 producers. I have to shout them all out: Dr. Dre, Juicy J, and RZA. Like those
RZA?
RZA. Yeah.
That one I don't know.
No.
So was the last ones I don't know.
Yeah, but that RZA one. So, man. Because I grew up listening to to his music, so I know exactly who he is, and he wasn't just a producer; he was the head. Mm-hmm. You know, there's actually for anybody that wants to watch it, there's a whole thing called American Saga, and that's with Wu-Tang. It's about how Wu-Tang started
on Disney. Did you watch that one?
Hulu.
I think it's on Disney too. But it's on
Disney Channel. But
it was so dope because
they're
like
behind. Mm-hmm. Disney's behind. You gotta watch it on Hulu.
Okay.
If you're getting the new stuff, yeah, you can watch it on.
Yeah, I was watching it. It's actually so dope, and it was like I didn't even think I was really gonna like it because to be honest, like Wu-Tang, like I didn't grow up on Wu-Tang, and like all I know is like Method Man and Man. I grew up on them too, but Wu-Tang as a Wu-Tang, no, like you can't ask me to name like their songs and stuff like that.
All right.
But yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the show.
The whole concept.
The
whole concept. And it's just it just feels real. You know what I'm saying? Like like it's real stuff that it's not just something that happens there, it's something that happens here. Is what you know what I mean? So it's very relatable. If you grew up in that environment for sure.
And cause like most of the questions I had for you, we actually like covered them as we spoke. So, like, do you own your masters? I think it's pretty clear that you own your 100%. Masters.
Yeah, 100%.
What's your favorite music video? Is it the same one that we watched?
Favorite music video?
Or
no,
that's different.
You want to know who I love his music videos? Tory Lanez. Yo, I can't remember the name of the song, but like there's like he
Free Tory?
Free Tory. Are you
Free
man.
Tory? Like he shot
listen,
her though.
No. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not free. I'm not saying Free Tory, still, but yo, as a creative, yo, he did everything independently. Like I didn't know he was the director of his videos. I did not know that he was the mixer master of his music. And so that just I
don't feel like he doesn't mix and master. He's there part of the process, but I don't think he's the mix and master guy.
Maybe not. You're right. Maybe not.
But he does like there. Freestyle a lot, like a lot of his.
He said
stuff.
it in a couple of his posts. Like and he was. I don't think he was boasting. I just think like he was just like, yo, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Don't tell me I ain't working. Don't tell me. And those are some of the things that came up, and I was like, really. if you're fronting, you're fronting. But yo, honestly, like, why would you go out there fronting like that? I can't see it. Just the aggression that he had in his voice, because he was getting a
No,
lot
I've
of
seen
slack.
him online. I've seen him on Twitch. Like he would create a whole song on Twitch. Like people would send him beats. He'll pick up beats with the viewers.
I never seen
then
that.
You see him in
Wow.
the booth. He recorded
yeah,
a
no,
song.
actually I heard about that.
Yeah,
I
he's
get
been
to watch
doing that. Yeah. Like
that's
honestly,
lit.
Tory Lane kind of
that's
reminds
lit.
me a lot like myself, and he's versatile like myself. Like we could go from like some 80s pop to like some trap, or like to some reggae, to some reggaeton, to some what you want. We just you know what I mean? Like, and like we could do it on the spot. We don't need 5 days, 4 days, like boom. Give it to us now.
Play
boom.
the beat.
Play the
Let's
beat.
get creative.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like so shout out to Tory, man, and I hope it's not true that he shot her, and I hope they're just framing him and saying that because like there is technically no proof. Yeah, he was found guilty, but like the evidence, we all saw the evidence. What was given to us, and it was all very like unprofessional.
Yeah. I mean,
like there was no real like.
There's a lot of
video of him
against
doing
Tory.
it. There's some audio of him like saying, "Haha, I just shot you." Like there's like a video of him saying like, "I'm sorry, what happened last night." There's a lot that happened.
Yeah.
Of course, he's gonna say sorry. He snitched on himself, saying that he was smashing both of the girls. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything that happened, I'm just sorry. It doesn't mean I shot you.
Doesn't mean I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
it doesn't mean I shot you. Sorry.
You know, that's why I'm just like, and I know how the industry is. I know how it works.
Yeah, and over the last over the last 7 years, Tory's they've tried to block him several times, and he's been a beast, and he's persevered. So I mean, as an artist, as a musician, I like his work, and you know what I mean. Like, if he did do that, I'll just say this: you live, you learn. Don't shoot girls. Don't shoot guys. Just don't shoot anybody.
Don't shoot anybody. Yeah, honestly,
anybody.
Stop the violence. I'm with NBA young boy. He has his campaign going. Stop the violence. Yeah, you guys need to stop the violence, because half of the shit you guys are doing is really unnecessary. Like, you guys could just fight. Not all the time you guys have to kill. Yeah. Nobody's God. Stop trying to play God and take people's life. God will take whoever's life God needs to take. Stop trying to play God. Yeah. Everybody just live your life and just like, I don't like you learn. People shoot people for friends. Like, you inherit your friend's beef. Like, it's not even a problem between you and that person. It's because you and your friend and that person has a problem. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, if you want to be an artist, be an artist. If you want to be a trapper, be a trapper. Don't come in the rap game and try to do both, because it's like, that's why Toronto does not have any platforms. They don't want to promote. Yeah, I'm in the trap with your auntie. Shoot up a brick in her panty. It's a wonderful song for the trap and for the streets.
That's YG right there. I know that lyric right off the bat.
But they don't want that on the radio. Yeah. You know what I mean? They need something like to represent Canada. Canada, we have a start like. Trust me, if you're not from Canada, you try to come in Canada, crossing our borders.
Yeah, it's a different beast.
Yeah,
it's a different beast.
So
and you can get caught up, and you can get caught slipping. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And,
like, you guys can't go to dinners comfortably. Yeah. You can't go to the Raptors games. Someone's chain just got taken at the Raptors game and beat up, and there was just 3 shootings last night in North York. Yeah, that like
it's active. It's active, and you know, growing up, this is why. I mean. This is why I recorded a lot of the Mandem, because when they were in the studio, they weren't outside.
On the road doing something stupid.
Right, and that to me, like, that's the program I'm working on. You know what I mean? That's the program that I'm working on. And if anybody is out there, I mean, just hit me up. I definitely want to get that going. And the more, I got like a couple guys. Rhymes Oso, he works inside the community center. With a studio, I think DT used to, just guys getting the kids, or getting that the people in that community or any community off the streets and into the studio. You know, that's 2 3. It's like going to the gym. It's like going to basketball. It's like, and it's an extracurricular thing. And I think the more extracurricular activities that you can get your kids doing, get them in it, man.
Yeah, like I always said, like I wish my parents actually like put me in like music stuff. Like growing up, like I always did music. Like good thing, like my shout out to Wriggle Road. I went to Wriggle Road. I was in the choir.
Yeah.
I was in the steel band, so I played like the autos. I played the actual drums.
I played the flute.
I played the bass. I played the recorder. I played the violin.
Nice.
Yeah, I was able to dibble and dabble in music, and then I was around certain people that had a studio, so that's when I got into making beats. And then I don't even know how I got into DJing. I just picked that up on my own, like out of nowhere. I wasn't around DJs. I just literally picked that up on my own. I used to DJ. I was DJing weddings. I DJed my high school party. I went to Oakwood Collegiate. I DJed my high school parties.
Oh, Oakwood Collegiate. I
was throwing like just parties. Like so it's like, yeah, man, like I'm a wizard on my own too. I like to say more like a jack of all trades. I record myself. I don't mix and master. I can. Yeah. But that I'm not a master in, so, and I know the quality I'm going for, and I know I just don't have. I could really teach myself it.
It takes time too.
But I wanna have fun and be an artist as well. So
that's why I'm actually
I don't mind, whatever, just paying for that and things like that. But we're in my own home studio right now, so like I record myself and then I send my vocals out for mixing and mastering. And I like to do a lot of things myself. I could shoot videos and edit them too. I've done that like back in the days, but now I just like I leave it to the people.
I'm learning. Like I'm actually doing the same thing right now. I actually put I'll just record and just leave it to the engineer now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I'll send out my vocals now. And because I just, number one, there's not enough time in the day, and mixing takes 3, 4, 5 hours. Then you have to listen to it, and then you have to mix it again and adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, and then DJing, it's the same. Honestly, I was at a show. My DJ didn't canceled on me, so I was like, yo.
Yeah, do yourself, figure it out.
You know what I mean?
Make it happen. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Make sure if you're new, make sure you follow the channel. Yeah. I got lots more dope interviews, more streams. My dinner date got canceled yesterday, but I will be back on another stream for my dinner date. So yeah, we're doing some little fun things. Okay. I'm gonna be doing a dinner date. Now, I mean, we're gaming. We got Grand Theft Auto up in this beach. It's a 420 friendly podcast, so I'm gonna have some people coming on talking about some cannabis, smoking all kind of cannabis.
Shout out cannabis, man, because like me, I started off smoking cess, and I haven't looked back since.
I'm gonna try to get some freestyles as well. The whole every artist was supposed to freestyle, but they kind of turned it down. Actually, I think one I didn't offer. The last two I didn't offer it actually, but the one turned it down. So I don't know. Are you a freestyler or?
I am a freestyler. I mean, I definitely could. I love freestyling. I mean, is there a
what do you guys think? Beat? You guys want to hear a freestyle? Put some ones in the chats if you want a freestyle.
You know what I'm saying?
Or kind of like, where should I put? Like a 50 Cent type beat, or like what kind of type beat should I look up here?
Let's say let's go to rate to Heatmakers.
Hitmaker, right?
Yeah, makers with a Z. They one word too.
Should come up. Y'all want to hear a freestyle?
Word up. What do we got here?
Hitmaker.
I don't know any of those beats.
It's like the title is Hitmaker.
Yeah, I think it's just like artists, like producers producing like them.
Like their titles is Hitmaker.
Heat.
Oh,
or
Heat.
Try Heatmakers. One word. With a Z.
Should come up. They're pretty like a big name.
Yeah.
It's because I put hits. there, heat maker.
Yeah.
Like these guys.
Yeah.
Smooth.
What's that?
Like this one, smooth.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Something like smooth.
See what we got. Yeah, I know. Honestly, it doesn't matter about the beat too. Like I just, I can go at it. I mean, I just love the art.
Might as well be the first one to kick it off.
Why not? Alright. Joe Wizard. Benzito.
Hey.
Hey yo. Hey yo, it's the life of the six. You done know that I'm outside just trying to make hits. And you done know that I'm up against the grits. I see Benzito wearing green indeed, cause she just smoked the big ass spliff for green indeed. You done know what I mean. I'm the type of guy that isn't mean. You can approach me like a real one. You done know that I ain't walking around with a gun. Trust me, I just wanna spread love. Trust me, and indeed I just wanna make something happen for people nowadays. That's right, get your mind right. And yo, we gotta grow together. Yo, we gotta grow something powerful forever. Trust me, let's get it. Yo, the mic is my weapon. Forget all these rappers who are half-stepping, who don't know what it takes. Yo, you gotta put in 1,000 hours every day, even though they only give you 24. But you gotta think more. Trust me, I'm coming from the top floor, from the penthouse, in my mind, in my tempo. Shout out the hat, it's Toronto. You done know, we got the flow. Yo, you done know I'm rocking from Ontario. And if you don't know where that is, look it up on the map. That's the home of Drake, Toronto, the 6. It's the home of Pressa. Damn, you don't know what it takes. Yo, the man I'm out here just trying to shine. I'm too divine with every rhyme. Yo, I might get signed or I might not. I still rock the spot. I got the strength of a juggernaut. Oh man, you don't know what I mean? Okay, let's chill out and smoke some weed. Don't know, big up the Smokers Podcast. Yo, I had a blast, rolled up a big fat splaff. Yo, it made me laugh, it made me giggle. I had her on the couch, she started to giggle, she started to wiggle. You done know, she took the pickle. Oh shit, you done know I'm a sicko. When I start rapping, it ain't no capping, it's just straight rapping, bars indeed. No doubt. Just off the top, you know, try to incorporate a 1, 2, 1, 2.
That was a certified freestyle.
Just trying
off
to freestyle.
Of the top.
Off the top.
That was hard.
It's
what y'all think? What y'all think? Put some ones in the chat, man.
We've been on here for a while. Hopefully they're with us still, man. You know what I'm saying?
They're here, man. Put some ones in the chat if you're rocking with that.
I bet.
That was sick, man. That was sick, yo. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you get stuck on the words, like that word indeed, sometimes it just kept on ringing in my head for some reason. I was like, indeed, so what am I going to keep on saying with indeed? You know what I mean? And yep, no preparation, man. Straight off the top. I love this ish, man.
So before we end this stream, anything you want to let us know? You have like a tour coming up or something, or like a show, or
so I'm just gonna drop a few dates right now, and I know like with the people that watch it now, you're gonna be able to catch the shows. If you catch it after, we're gonna have footage online. So January 21st, I'm doing Body the Beat showcase. That's with Critical Music Group, 416 Solo. And then on January 29th, I'm doing a listening party online for 3 new songs with 4 artists. So I got a song called Tragedy coming out with Livy Monet. I got a song coming out with Lady V. It's called Hourglass. And then I'm working on a track with DNA from Day One Records. And that song is called Toxic. So basically what I'm doing is, I got a big show coming up February 9th in Barrie. I'm opening up for Tony Yayo. And I was like, yeah, I could do what I got, or I could make more. and what I know Tony Yeo. I know his followers and what he represents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I can't come on doing a whole bunch of trap music because, you know, personally I don't think the crowd's gonna
They
be
want
feeling.
the bars.
They want the bars, right?
Yeah.
And even though I have music with bars, but not as what I would like on the instrumentals and stuff. So I went right back to the lab and I made some sick collaborations with those artists. And so we got a listening party on January 29th. You'll be able to it'll be streaming on Bars Nation and Joe Wizard's profile. And then February 2nd is the release party. We're doing that at 647 College Street. I actually rented both floors. So on the top floor, we're gonna have DJ Shortcut playing golden era hip hop, and then in the bottom floor is the showcase portion. So by all means, if everybody, it's doors open at 8. It's free admission. The way that I've made the arrangements, I just want to know what I want people to come out. I want people to see what's popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's Barrie, February 9th. So if you're in Barrie, Ontario, DM Joe Wizard, and I'll definitely get you those tickets. I'll be in Barrie January 28th for the final run before the show.
So you guys heard it, man. You got a lot of, you booked and busy. This is what an artist does. It's not all about being on Instagram and just taking pictures and posting pictures. It's about actually being out on road, doing shows, collaborations, networking, podcasts, interviews, letting people see who you are.
That's facts.
Hear who you are. Get some personality. Like, you know what I mean? Because to be honest, the vibes I get off your Instagram, I get a total vibes, different vibes in person. I love this in-person meet. Like, I'm glad we got to meet you in person and, you know, really chop it up because
you want to know
you
what?
really get to understand the person.
The universe said it. Universe said make it happen, and we made it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We literally chatted last night and it was just like, you free tomorrow? Yeah, let's do it.
Literally make it happen. You know what I mean?
And sometimes artists, like, that's what you gotta do. You gotta push. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta find time. If you got a little time frame, utilize that. You know what I'm saying? That's just another little gem. For sure. On the Gem podcast by Benzito.
It's coming to you soon, the official launch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll have a launch party, get something set up, and it'll be dope, you know what I mean?
I'll be there for sure.
Some live performances and all kind of shit.
Well, I know and we'll talk after the podcast, man, because I definitely don't mind you coming out and shine if you're free, man. February 2nd, you know what I'm saying? So
yes, I'm still in the city. I plan on leaving February 9th, but I'm still here February 2nd.
Right.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man, you already know, man. If Benzito is cool with it, man, just me hitting the stage at the show too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's talk. Let's get it going. Let's connect.
Alrighty.
Word up.
Well, big thank you to everybody that tuned in. As you guys know, if you're just tuning in now, don't worry. This will be uploaded to the channel, so you'll be able to rewatch it and also share it. There's a share button. You guys can share this to your Twitter. Yeah. It will create a link. You just copy it. Yeah. Now on Instagram and your stories, you can post links. You don't have to have 10,000 followers anymore. Like, you used to only have to have a certain amount of followers to be able to do that. That was whack. Yeah. So you could put this in your story. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you don't support and share.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I just want to be a big shout out to Benzito having me run through the whole We Stay Woke network. You already know what it is, man. You gotta stay woke. You gotta stay awake. You know what I'm saying? Don't take everything for what it looks like. Take everything for what it is. You know what I mean? Find out the more info, the more knowledge that you have is better.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is key.
Like, when people say read a book, like, honestly, read a book that's good for you. Not just read a book to read a book, like, talk about, like, love and, like, all that other stuff. Like, no, like, knowledge yourself. Yeah. If it's 100%. Music, knowledge yourself.
Yeah, man. 100%.
If you're into acting, knowledge yourself. If you're into cooking, knowledge yourself. Just knowledge yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, shout out, man. I have to just say, shout out my family. Shout out Lil Wizzy. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
No,
God bless everybody out there. You know.
For real. Happy New Year to everybody. And
2023,
yeah.
yo. Yeah.
But we out, yo.
All right, one love, man.
Cheers.
Shout out Benzito, you already know.
That was solid.
That was solid, man. Enough
That was
respect,
good.
yo. See?
I know you got a lot more gems to drop too.
Yeah, that's
but
the thing, yo. We
yeah.
could, yeah, you know, sometimes you want to keep your podcast or the interview like within 30 minutes, but there's so much, like I could definitely